balls?
You remember big balls.
It's me.
That should be obvious.
Why do they call you big balls?
I just said it as my LinkedIn username.
Last week, it seemed like Elon Musk had finally won a custody battle. We learned that Edward Cortison, the 19-year-old operative, best known as Big Balls, he'd left Doge. You might have assumed that Big Balls was following Stephen Miller's wife to join Musk in the private sector, if you know what I mean. You can imagine them all living in the 14,400-foot nursery Musk has bought next to his mansions in Austin, and that Musk would soon try to impregnate one of Big Balls' nannies.
What does Big Balls do?
However, we discovered that Cortison actually isn't leaving the government at all. Our Big Balls hadn't dropped. No, he joined the Social Security Administration as a special government employee, which is an even more stomach-turning twist if you know what they want to do to Social Security. But that's my answer. That's why I'm joining a Tesla takedown today, and I hope that you will consider joining a Tesla takedown today or in the future. Today's special because it's June 28th. We're going to wish Elon a crappy birthday. But there are a lot of reasons why we got to keep the Tesla takedown going. We didn't get rid of Big Balls. We got rid of Elon out of the government. He may have cracked his alliance by Donald Trump by pointing out that Trump, a guy who bought a teenage beauty pageant, mostly so he could walk in on the pageant contestants changing, actually was close friends with Jeffrey Epstein, something that Elon pointed out and none of Trump's followers had wanted to discuss for a long time. But even if Elon just pushed $45 billion to help elect Donald Trump, that's a reason alone to continue the Tesla takedown, just to let people know there's a cost to that kind of behavior. The fact remains Musk's contracts with SpaceX and Starlink are still in effect. He's still pulling the same scam, trying to pretend that robot taxis that are like 15 years behind Waymo are going to rock the world in Austin. The stock is still overpriced to the magnitude of like 15, 20,000 times. The work that Doge did is only getting worse. All of the data, everything that he set up is now being fed into a surveillance system that is going to be used to turn us into a kind of tech fascist police state that is worse than anyone has ever wanted to imagine. And they're first going to use it to target brown people. Let's try to calculate the human damage that Elon Musk has done in his life. First, we turn to the impact counter dashboard. This measures the human impact of funding changes for aid and support agencies. This is Elon's first obsession. He threw it in the wood chipper, USAID. How many people have died? Over 100,000 adults. Over 220,000 kids, because that's what this was mostly focused on. Helping kids. Now, about 1,400 babies are getting HIV every day because of the work that Elon Musk has done that hasn't been stopped, that is continued, which is why the Tesla takedown needs to continue. He has the biggest machine for fascism that's ever been created, X. He's still that guy. He invited all the Nazis back and became the biggest popularizer of Nazism since Hitler. It's all still in effect, and he is being rewarded. He has a new deal that he's about to launch with T-Mobile and Starlink. Before Elon Musk was the most influential evil billionaire of our time. Media Matters did a lot of work to get advertisers out of Fox News. They did our best to use collective power to stop that from happening. But there's a difference between Musk and Murdoch in that Musk still has retail outlets in the streets. Tesla still needs to work and needs to prove that it's some kind of valuable business because he wants to sell us 1 billion sex robots. We can't forget what the Tesla takedown taught this movement. While many people were sitting back wondering, why isn't there a huge women's march? The Tesla takedown was in the streets teaching people that protest matters. But it's not just protest. It's also using our direct action to cause pain through economic measures.
If you look at things like the Tesla sellbacks and the, suggestion to people that they should not buy Teslas or to make showrooms like uncomfortable places for people to be, and therefore they don't go, that's imposing direct material costs. That's more than just a communication device. It's an invitation for people to use their own material resources to impose costs or withhold benefits.
That's what Tesla takedown was all about. Sell your Tesla, get rid of your stock, divest. All of that stuff continues. This is what successful resistance movements do. Gil Duran, who hosts the Nerd Rock podcast and writes the Nerd Rock newsletter, explained that this is all still continuing under the surface. Everything Elon was making surface is still happening. The key goals remain on track. Congress is still on the cusp of giving huge wins to crypto and AI companies, and Trump is working with Peter Thiel's Palantir to develop a massive surveillance database.
So that's the plan, the one so many of the most influential figures in Silicon Valley have been talking about for years. Undermine the credibility of the federal government, defy legal oversight, and concentrate power in the hands of a small group of foreign-born billionaires. It's not chaos, folks. It's a plan, and it's working exactly as designed. But now you know it too.
That's why Purge Palantir is the next element that needs to be added to the Tesla takedown. This is a very new movement. But people need to be educated. Just like the Tesla takedown educated people how empty and fraudulent Tesla is as a company, we need to let people know what Palantir is really up to. Because Palantir's success has been gliding through the shadows, through the raindrops, creating J.D. Vance, and allowing Peter Thiel to effectively be one click, one bad cheeseburger, one rung from controlling the entire country through J.D. Vance. If you think J.D. Vance is a freak, he's the normal one that Peter Thiel thought would be able to take over America. Because Peter Thiel is so strange, you can't even imagine it.
The entire world has submitted for 50 years to peace and safetyism. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety.
I want you to remain hopeful. That's another reason to do Tesla Takedown. Getting out and being hopeful that's why my wife is going out to Tesla Takedown. We need to be in the streets first to say, hey, we can still do this. But second, because this is how we remind them of our power and remind ourselves of the power. We've built the bones of a movement that can win. That's what Andrea Pitzer said in the most recent Next Comes What?
It's not a given by any means that we can prevent or roll back all these harmful policies, but we have enough people committed to the effort that we can have real effects on what happens next. Still, we need millions more people. The larger the number of people we bring aboard nationwide, the more we can accomplish.
Big balls are still out there. Kids are still dying. They're still hoping to use our data to chain us to their sick fantasies forever. The least we can do is take them down, but purging America of their pale, veiny balls is a nice start.